Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. So yeah, I've got this special video for you guys, probably because, I don't know, maybe you're considering getting some transistor brand, and I think you really have to take, if you're really interested in transistor gear, I think you should really take into consideration YBA. YBA is the only transistor brand I will recommend for best value in the low, mid, and top category. So positives about the brand. I don't really think anybody knows about it yet, and that's probably why it's so cheap. And they produce equipment that only draws very little power. It's good, you can put it away. It's got a lot of neat features and all of that, even though I'm not into that kind of thing. It looks pretty, actually better than the pictures on the net, and their preamplifiers work actually pretty good with equipment like Macintosh. So if you've got like a darker sounding tube power amplifier from Macintosh or something like that, just put a relatively basic YBA preamp on that, and it's going to pep up the sound quite a bit. Now, I would generally only recommend the Heritage, Genesis, and Passion line of amplifiers. Let me just quickly show you. There's the bottom range here, design. I'm sorry, but I can't recommend this, okay? I think this doesn't represent YBA at all. I think it's crap. I think it's like any other gear on the market, so I won't recommend that. But as soon as you get up to the Heritage, I will recommend it, because it only costs like, I don't know, what is that, $1,500, something like that, for an integrated like this. And it doesn't sound impressive, but that amplifier for around that price would typically reflect what you would get for $3, $4, $5, more like $3 or $4 $1,000, and that's actually quite impressive. But what really gets me with YBA, the thing that really gets me interested in it, is this. Best thing about YBA is that you can take something like the Heritage integrated A100, which is like, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500. You have to look it up. I don't know. And you can upgrade the speaker terminals, the inlet plug, the RCA plugs, and the cable inside. And it would only cost like, I don't know, $500, something like that, to do it. If you do this, suddenly your $1,000 amp will outperform a Passlabs or Macintosh amp that is around $8,000 to $10,000. Seriously, I've heard it before once. It's absolutely amazing, but you have to choose these parts. So, I mean, it's a shortcut if you want to get some cheap transistor equipment, and yeah, it's quick, it's neutral, it's lively, it's colorful, it's exciting, it has nice dynamic contrast. I mean, it isn't the best gear in the world. I mean, it's but value wise, compared to everything else on the market, I think that YBA is one of the best brands value wise. But Heritage series, Genesis, and Passion is the one that I recommend, where you get the most value for your money. The signature line, the best line that they make, is of course some of the best transistor gear in the world, and it will get you close to that Nagra, Gryphon, D'Agostino, Spectral sound. Close. But it will not give you the same high performance. Not at all. But it will give you a taste of it for gear that costs like 3 to 10 times more. So yeah, it's a really good brand. I've had it a couple of times, and especially amplifiers, integrated amplifiers, and CD players. Those YBA are really good at. Generally, if we have to go into what they're not so good at, I would say that the streaming thing, forget it. I don't like it. Phono preamplifier, nah, not really. I wouldn't recommend it. But as soon as you go from Heritage to Genesis, then it starts getting serious. But I would just go for the cheaper Heritage and then do the upgrades. It's going to be, once you've done the upgrades, it's almost going to be at the level of the Passion. So save the money. Save the money. CD player, great. Integrated, great. I mean, well, actually, one thing I'm not so crazy about is that once you get into the Passion one, this power amplifier, I wasn't so crazy about it. Phono was pretty good in this category, especially the CD, the two CDs here, and the DAC was also pretty good. Not the best, but the preamp was really good, and Signature, yeah, just awesome. Really awesome. It doesn't get much better than this. This is almost the top pinnacle of transistor sound, what is possible. I would still say that Nagra and Spectral have a lot more detail, a lot more layering, a lot more 3D-ness. I mean, it also has to, if you compare it to it price-wise. I would say that Nagra and Spectral would, if I had to listen to that, that would probably last me like 50 years before I felt like I need to upgrade. If I had the Signature and compared it to Nagra and Spectral, which I consider to be the very best in the transistor gear, I would probably only say that the Signature will, I would probably feel after 5 to 10 years that I would want Nagra or Spectral. I want that extra detail, you know, that extra liveliness and neutralness and high level realism and naturalness. But price wise, I would say that the YBA Signature actually gives you a lot more value for the buck compared to Nagra and Spectral, and you kind of get that Nagra Spectral type of sound. I would say it's a bit more organic than Nagra. Nagra is a bit more analytical. Also Spectral, very analytical, very layered, very linear. Spectral, I think Spectral is the best transistor gear in the world. You just can't really beat it. But damn, this really gets close. This really gets close. It is just a really good brand. So yeah, go and try and listen to it. And I would suggest getting something like an Heritage A100 integrated amp. And then, you know, do these tweaks, you know. These are the secrets to getting really good sound. If you want Macintosh integrated sound, Past Labs or Mark Levinson, if you want something like that, this is better, a lot better. It's a lot more color, it's a lot more liveliness, it's more neutral, it's more opened up, it's more free. Yeah, you won't quite get the same reserved power and grip. That's probably special for brands like Macintosh, Past Labs, and Mark Levinson. You know, that kind of traditional grayish type of sound. So that's also what I've written here of bad stuff. But yeah, something to think about if you're considering transistor gear in the lower end. So yeah, that's all for today, and remember to subscribe and like. Bye.